Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. It's about that time. It's your boy RegDolla. On this episode, we're going over my big board 1 through 30 on the GOATED fictional draft class, only on Xbox Series X. I'm giving my big board from a draft and analyst perspective so I can help you get a better understanding and feel for the prospects. This took a lot of time, so I appreciate it if you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let me not waste no more time and get right to it. Starting off at number 30, we got the small forward out of Vanderbilt, Julian Hendricks. Julian Hendricks is a well-rounded wing that gives me shades of Danny Granger, T.J. Warren, Harrison Barnes, and Otto Porter. He led the SEC in scoring, averaging 22 a game, and as a junior, I think he could come in and contribute right away. He does everything at a really well pace, a 3-level scorer, and he's also someone that could get downhill and finish at the bucket, rebounded really well at the college level, but the biggest downside about Julian's game is that he isn't the best athlete, and also the ball handling ability needs to get better, and he doesn't really make plays for others. Overall, I think what you're getting out of Julian Hendricks is someone that could come in and score the ball right away and help a team out in that dynamic. Coming in at 29, we have this freshman center out of Oregon, Sky Anderson, 7'1", 210. Sky is a tall, lengthy 5 that stretches the floor on the other end and reminds me of players such as Miles Turner, Isaiah Austin, John Henson, Skylar BCA. He protects the rim and disrupts shots with his 7'5" wingspan, averaged 2.5 blocks per game in 24 minutes. As a 5, he's able to stretch the floor out with a smooth stroke pause, and he gives the team versatility on both ends, and he's still really young. He's going to need to put on weight and be able to work on his finishing ability down low. And overall, Sky archetype is perfect that suits the modern day game, just stretching out the floor. And you can't find somebody like him every day. Moving on to number 28, we got the sophomore out of North Carolina, small forward, Romeo Pettis. And Romeo had a breakout sophomore year playing alongside Ricky Cruz. And he's what you call a shooter. He could shoot the ball off the catch, off the screen, off the bounce, and he projects to be a glue guy at the next level, and he could fill at any lineup. He isn't someone that's going to break his defender down and make plays for other and get to the basket and finish at will, but what scouts love about Romeo is something that we know is going to translate, and that's his jump shot. It's next level shooting for him, and he could fit on any team, any roster, any lineup, and you could just look at the percentages that he shot. Highly efficient at 49, 44, and 8. From one shooter to the next, let's move on to number 27, and that is a sharpshooter, Luka Tovalovic, out of Serbia, a 6'6" guard, and Vlado's just a knockdown shooter that you got to be aware of where he is at all times. He's really good moving off ball and has shown flashes of a little bit of creation on ball. He could play make a little out of pick and roll, and I think the playmaking overall is underrated for him. He's not someone that's going to contribute much on the defensive end, but you know you're getting with this valuable shooting and just underrated creation with him. He shot at a high level, 44, 40, and 80, and I think he's only going to continue to get better. Moving on to number 26, we got the Texas freshman, 6'8", 235, Dante Knight, and the PF stands for point forward, because that's what Dante is. As you can see with the shades of comparisons, we got Draymond Green, Aaron Gordon, Royce White, and Scotty Barnes, and that's what he is. Dante is a playmaking forward that defends his ass off. He's a versatile playmaker that could defend all 5 positions. He's going to be someone that sticks around the league for a long time. He makes winning plays on both ends of the floor, and by whether it's either making the right pass, being in the right spot defensively, or making that hustle play. What affects his stock is his lack of scoring ability. He doesn't have a high ceiling as a scorer, but he does everything else well. Moving on to number 25, we got one of the most athletic forwards in this class, and that is Lamar Carter out of Memphis, 6'9", 220, and you can just tell by the comparisons that we see. Shades of Rudy Gay, Josh Jackson, Jeff Green, and Josh Smith. And Lamar is one of the best returning sophomores. He's a slasher who's always looking to catch a body, and he's one of the better athletes in this class with his quick first step and explosiveness with his size. And he's not just an athlete, he's also a balanced scorer. His shooting could come and go at times, which is something he needs to improve upon, but defensively, he could be one of the best defenders when he is engaged. Overall, Lamar is a well-rounded player with that elite athleticism that should really intrigue teams going forward. From one athlete to another, moving on to number 24, we got another athletic forward, and that's Alabama's own Deshaun Cook. Deshaun Cook is 6'10", 230, who gives me a little bit of vibes of John Collins, another Aaron Gordon comparison, Derek Williams, and DJ Wilson. Deshaun is an athlete that's young and raw with a really intriguing skill set. He's really a pick and roll and pick and pop threat, and has flashes of putting the ball on the floor and making something happen for himself, and has switchability on the defensive end. He's also a solid rebounder, but he's going to need to continue to work on his shot consistency and also ball handling ability. Overall, if the right team picks him up, they can mold into a special player with the tools that he has. Moving into number 23, we got the freshman wing out of UCLA, Jayden Moore. Jayden Moore is the best 3-and-D guy in this class. Just look at the comparisons. We got Trevor Ariza, OG Anunoby, Cam Johnson, and Trey Murphy. And what Jayden brings to the table is good size, solid athlete, actually good athlete, knows his role and knocks down threes, and also is a good cutter. He's a perfect glue guy for a team and is one of the best perimeter defenders that we have in this class. He's not someone that's going to create a shot or create for others, but you know you're going to get out of him. A 3-and-D guy, and that's something every team wants. Moving into number 22, we got the junior out of DePaul, Freddy Hobbs. Freddy Hobbs is the best perimeter defender in this class. Absolutely locks down his defenders. Give me the shades of Jimmy Butler, Troy Brown, DeAndre Bembry, and also Keon Johnson. His ability to slash the basket and just bully his way to the basket and draw fouls and get to the line and also finish plays is elite. He also is a great rebounder for his position, facilitates the offense. His downside is his three-point shot and just overall shot. The free throw isn't there, and that's going to be the biggest swing factor for him. If he could develop a jump shot, he could be an elite player at the next level. Moving into number 21, we got San Diego State's point guard, London Price. London Price came out of nowhere as a sophomore, as nobody was really expecting him to be this high on the draft radar. But his shot creation ability and ability to operate out of pick and roll just ended up being elite. Nobody was really expecting this from him, and his ability to facilitate the offense and knock down shots is going to be something that teams want. He's a combo guard at 6'4", play either on and off ball, and teams are going to want that. His downside is defense and finishing at a high level. He's not the best finisher and the best athlete, but overall what you're getting out of London Price is a great combo guard. Moving into number 20, we got the big man out of Michigan, Romeo Houston. Romeo Houston is a double-double machine that averages 20 and 12. He's a well-rounded scorer that does damage from the post, mid-range, and knocks down three, and shot at a 35% clip. He's also an elite roll man as he sets solid screens and is able to wall off the defenders and gain position. He's also one of the best offensive and defensive rebounders in the country. The main reason why he isn't ranked higher is because of his athleticism and his defense. His ability to defend the pick and roll and protect the rim is going to be a real concern at the next level. But overall, Romeo is going to be able to score the ball and rebound the ball at the high level when he's on the court. Moving into number 19, we got the freshman point guard out of Memphis, Lamar Ruffin. Lamar Ruffin is a high-flying, slashing playmaker, and that makes sense looking at the comparisons. We got John Wall, Dennis Smith, Jeff Teague, Steve Francis. These are some of the most athletic point guards, and Lamar is in that conversation. He's a really quick, explosive athlete that got stupid balance, and his game just pops in the open court where he's at his best. His biggest question is going to be how good his jump shot comes along at the next level. Shot at 34% from the field and 69% from the free throw line. He's going to need to improve upon that. And another thing he's going to need to clean up is taking care of the ball. At times, could be careless, but overall what you're getting with Lamar is an elite athlete that has the ability to get to the rim at will, collapse defense, and make plays. If he could continue to improve upon his inconsistent jump shot, he could be something special at the PG spot. Moving into number 18, we got the freshman out of Arizona, and that's Romeo Pettis. Romeo Pettis is a 6'10", smooth lefty stretch big, and he's one of the best shooters at his size. Really good at rolling to the basket and popping. He can attack closeouts, and he's also a good shot blocker that averaged 1.8 blocks on the defensive end. He has a talent to be ranked higher, but part of the reason why he's not ranked as high as he could be is his elite shot creation. He doesn't have the best ball handling ability yet and creation for himself, but overall, Royal is everything that you want in a modern day big. Someone that could shoot the floor and roll in transition and just make plays and doesn't need the ball in his hands. Moving into number 17, we got the freshman center out of LSU, big sexy Malik Wright. Malik Wright is a skilled 5-man who gives me a little bit of vibes of LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMarcus Cousins, Vernon Carey, and also Naz Reid. He averaged a double-double in only 25 minutes a game, and his ability to just abuse defenders and just bully his way into the paint and finish. And he also has a little bit of ball handle ability to him. He's an active rebounder, but his weakness is he isn't the most mobile defender and is a good paint protector. Overall, what you're getting out of Malik is a skilled beast that has the ability to be one of the best offensive centers in the league one day. Moving in at number 16, we got the freshman out of Duke, Chase Cassidy. Chase Cassidy is a skilled wing that has a high basketball IQ and gives me a little bit of vibes of Franz Wagner, Dent Lestream, Mike Dunleavy, and Gordon Hayward. He's a shooter that can facilitate the offense and make plays. Whether it's on ball or off ball, Chase is a threat. The biggest concern of Chase teams, though, is his lack of athleticism and finishing in the paint. But overall, what you're getting out of him is someone that you can use in multiple ways on offense. Moving into number 15, we got the freshman out of Baylor, Josh Tillman. Josh Tillman is a freak athlete that makes plays that wows you. He came off the bench, so that's the reason why his stats isn't too eye-popping. But he came off the bench and was a spark plug for the team. He's excellent in transition, and he's able to knock down the three. He's also shown flashes of being a playmaker and making plays out of the pick and roll and while he gets downhill to the basket. One of the things he needs to work on is getting stronger, and overall, Josh could be an elite talent if he continues to work hard, and he has the physical tools to do so. Moving into number 14, we got the freshman out of Duke, the shooting guard, Caleb Taylor. Caleb Taylor is one of the best shot makers that we have in this class. He's a microwave guard that draws comparisons to those of Bradley Beal, Jaden Hardy, Gary Trent, and Jordan Poole. He's one of the best microwave scorers that we got in this class, and when he gets hot, he could fill it up with an array of tough shots and tough buckets. With his shot making ability, that's his biggest strength, but also his biggest weakness, as he has a tendency for settling for bad shots. And he's also not the best defender either. But overall, what you're getting out of Caleb is a potential 20-plus point scorer and someone that could create his shot from anywhere, and that's valuable at the two-guard position. What he needs to do is work on his shot selection, and his ceiling could be really high. Moving into number 13, we got another Duke guard, and that's Dante Mack. Dante Mack is the definition of a floor general that draws comparisons to those of Darren Williams, Kyle Lowry, Jason Kidd, but also Jamal Murray. He has a high IQ, controls the tempo of the game, elevates his teammates when he's on the court, and he's young, but he really plays a mature game. He's the best passer in the draft and the best pure point guard that we got in the draft. He's also a shooting threat from beyond the arc, and Dante just makes winning plays on both ends of the court. But his biggest weakness is going to be his lack of explosiveness. But overall, what you get out of Dante is someone that can run the offense, either if he comes off the bench or if he starts in the league. At number 12, we got the freshman out of Syracuse, the man out of Bronx, Dior Wright. Dior Wright is an explosive athlete that has a body of NFL fullback. Draws comparisons to those of Derrick Rose, Baron Davis, Russell Westbrook, and Eric Bledsoe. He can get to the basket at will and finish through contact, and I've seen him put 7-footers on their ass while he gets to the rim. He's able to break down the defenders with elite handles and tight handles, and he's also a solid playmaker. On the defensive end, Dior is a lockdown defender. He's one of the few young guards that really takes pride on that end. And if Dior is able to get a reliable jump shot, we could be looking at the next great point guard. He has all the physical attributes to be something special. And scouts say that his work ethic is one of the best in this class. Moving into number 11, we got the freshman guard out of Kentucky, Josh Bridges. Josh Bridges is a good slasher that likes to attack the basket and can finish with a bag of moves, whether it's a Euro step, a spin layup, a nice little jelly, or just dunking on a defender. He also has nice little tight handles for someone his size and has shown flashes of being a playmaker. On the defensive end, he's good when he's locked in, and he just has the skills to do everything on the court. It gives me a little bit of vibes of Donovan Mitchell, THT, James Harden, and Lance Stevenson. The thing with Josh Bridges is his shot selection sometimes. Sometimes he could get carried away and force a bad shot, and that's going to be something that he's going to need to work on in his development. Overall, he has the skills to be someone that's really elite and could be a big-time shot maker at the guard position, and maybe someone that you could build your team around. Moving into the top 10 prospect area, my number 10 prospect is a freshman out of Texas Tech, Scotty Brown. Scotty Brown is 6'7", 220, and gives me a little bit of vibes of these players such as Jaylen Brown, Andrew Wiggins, AJ Griffin, and Jonathan Kuminga. Those players came into the league as really good athletes with potential to grow even more as players. Also, all really good defenders, and Scotty Brown has shown flashes of being a shot creator and scorer, but not all the way there yet. And his development in the NBA is going to be really key, and I think he's going to follow the same path length as these players I named before. Scotty Brown could really develop into one of the best two-way players that we got in the league. At number 9, we got the freshman out of Kansas, Marquis Payne. He's one of the best scorers in the class. Put the ball in his hands. He could get it from the mid-range, at the basket, three-point, and he's also going to post up as a defender using a 6'7", 230 frame. And gives me a little bit of vibes of Paul Pierce, Chris Middleton, Dylan Brooks, and also Joe Johnson. Marquis Payne is just a straight-up bucket. And deficiencies right now is probably his defense. He's a solid defender, even though he's also inconsistent. And he doesn't have the elite athleticism. But what you're getting out of Marquis Payne is someone that has a high scoring ceiling. Moving on to number 8, we got the freshman out of Baylor, Tevin Wilson. Tevin Wilson is arguably the most talented player to play at Baylor, as he averaged 17 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists on shooting splits 58, 40, and 66. Tevin could basically do it all on the court. Whether you need him as a pick and roll out threat, he's a really good athlete, a grab and go guy, somebody that could grab the rebound and take it coast to coast, and has shown potential of stretching the floor out, and has shown flashes of being a pick and roll ball handler. But overall, Tevin's game kind of reminds me of Jalen Johnson, Lamar Odom, Blake Griffin, Pascal Siakam, all really skilled forwards and really athletic. And on the defensive end, you want a little bit more out of Tevin. The consistency needs to be better. He has the potential to be a really good defender, but we need to see him improve. But what you're getting out of Tevin Wilson is a do-it-all power forward that's a high ceiling. Moving on to number 7, we got the big man out of Texas, Latrell Cross. Latrell Cross is the best defender in the class, and he's special on that end. Has great awareness, length, timing, and mobility, and averaged 3.9 blocks and anchored one of the best defenses in the country. On offense, he's good at rim running, as a roll man, and a lob threat. Also, he has potential to extend his range too. And his game kind of reminds me a little bit of Mo Bamba, Rudy Gobert, Miles Turner, and James Wiseman. And his weakness is his post game. He's not too strong on that in the post, but overall it's not too concerned in the way the NBA is going. Overall, what you're getting out of Latrell is a really good defensive center with offensive potential and the potential to be a defensive player of the year candidate down the road. Moving on to number 6, we got the forward out of Kentucky, Mario Ellington. Mario Ellington is a fluid 6'11" stretch big that's one of the best shooters in the class. Can attack closeouts and finish, and also a dynamic pick and roll man. Defense is also versatile, averaged 3 blocks a game, and is able to contain perimeter players too. Has shades of Jaren Jackson Jr., Jabari Smith, Kevin Garnett, and Anthony Randolph. Overall, if Mario wants to take his game to the next level, he needs to get better as a shot creator. But what you're getting out of Mario is a highly skilled and versatile 6'11" player, and that is very rare. All right, moving into the top 5, we got the point guard out of Kentucky, Tyree Smith. Tyree Smith is one of the smoothest athletes I've ever seen, crazy quick, and is also the best at changing speeds. Can finish above the rim and also finish with some craft. And his handle is elite, and he's a good playmaker. And he can also score at all 3 levels. Reminds me of players such as Markelle Fultz coming out of Washington, Shea, Jaden Ivey, and Tyreek Evans. And he has no standout weakness in his game. Overall, what you're getting out of Tyree Smith is a 6'5" PG that's a great athlete and that can do everything on the court. Moving on to number 4, we got the Florida State wing, Kvonn Kabango. Kvonn Kabango is an elite 2-way wing that could get his shot off over anybody. A mid-range assassin that likes to catch the ball in the high post and operate, and is also still a 3-level scorer. has potential to guard 1 through 5 and is a really good rebounder, average 9 a game at Florida State. He has shades of B.I., Michael Porter Jr., Rashard Lewis, and Jonathan Isaac. His weakness right now is his playmaking, as he needs to get better for making plays for others. Overall, what you're getting out of Kvonn is a 6'10 wing that is a shot creator and can lock up your best defender on the other end. Moving into the top 3, we got the big man out of Georgetown, Jimbo Jackson. Jimbo Jackson brought the big man back to Georgetown, as he is a physical specimen that just bullied the game of college basketball. A dominant low post threat with good footwork, touch, and overpowering size. Also a really good athlete for someone his size at 7 feet, 275. Very active rebounder on both ends of the floor, good paint protector and post defender. And overall, Jimbo Jackson is just a brute force and has shades of Greg Oden, Andre Drummond, Al Jefferson, and DeAndre Ayton. If you need a franchise big man and you need somebody to dominate the low post game and protect the paint, Jimbo is that guy, the manimal. Moving into number 2, we got the freshman out of UNC, point guard Ricky Cruz. Ricky Cruz is the best UNC prospect since Vince Carter. Averaged 21 points and 8 assists and has top-level athleticism and one of the most electric finishers in the class. Elite handle and playmaking, knows how to balance his scoring and getting his teammates involved. Elite in the pick and roll. Good but streaky shooter, and has shades of De'Aaron Fox, Trae Young, Dame, and Ja. So some of the best point guards in the league right there. His only weakness is his defense, as he's 6'2 and 175. That's going to be a concern going forward. But overall, what you're getting out of Ricky is a potential generational offensive talent that could change your franchise and take them to new heights. Finally, at number 1 is a freshman out of Memphis, shooting guard Marquis Allen. Marquis Allen is a bucket getter. It might be his middle name, to be honest, if we keep it right, because that's what he was born to do. Elite shot creator and elite shot maker, the best shot maker that we got in this class that does it from all levels efficiently. At the rim, mid-range, three-point line, and even get into the free throw line and converting. He has an NBA-ready body at 6'6", and 210, and he makes big-time plays in the clutch. Has shades of Brandon Roy, Devin Booker, James Harden, and Anthony Edwards, and he's a good on-ball defender too. He has no weakness in his game, and overall what you're getting out of Marquis is a special scorer that is ready to contribute from day one and has potential to be one of the best players in the league and can potentially lead the league in scoring someday. That'll do it for the big board. That was my take on the top 30 prospects. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys download the draft classes, and if you guys have already, just enjoy that. It's your boy RegDolla, man. If you guys made it this far into the video, I really appreciate y'all. I've worked really hard on this video, so I hope you guys like it, and please hit the like button if you do, share with a friend, do all that great stuff, and I'll be back soon. It's your boy RegDolla. Yes, sir. I'm out of here.